Hey travelers, it's Mag here on day 33 of our trip across the US. Ai-chen is still sleeping it off in the car. She's tired after climbing down the 1,000 steps yesterday. I'm out here in pursuit of the PA DeLorme Challenge. It's 6 miles one way from the nearest parking to get out to stage 1 to go hunt the final. It's a lot with the dog. I don't know if I can handle that in the doggy bag. I don't know if she can handle that much either. So I decided to come out here pre-dawn, start running the trail. I was able to make it to stage 1 right about in time for sunrise. So that way it'll be plenty cool for the dog to hang out in the car for another couple hours until I can come back to her. Hopefully we can make the find out here. It's still another mile off by the edge of the river. This is really our only goal for the day. We have counties and DeLorme pages to cover on the way into Pittsburgh, but it's not a whole heck of a lot. Shaping up to be a great day, as long as we make this find. All right, cross your fingers for me.
After running in the dark for the last couple of hours, the sunrise was a very welcome sight peeking over the treetops. Despite the distance to get out here, it was very reasonable given the trail conditions. It looked just like this for almost the entire 6 miles. And this bridge was just about the only thing to break it up and mix it a little, offering me a little bit of variety in what's an otherwise very straight trail. I'd been listening to the sound of this water running all morning long, so it was great to finally be able to see it.
Oh, the sweet taste of victory. Nice geopile called my attention. The DeLorme Challenge Final for Pennsylvania. Yeah, boy! End of the line. Made it back to the trailhead. All in all, probably about 14 miles. Did it in about 4.5 hours. Running and caching. Let's go check on the puppy and see how she's doing. Napping comfortably. Hey. Hey. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Did you have a good sleep while I ran? Yeah? You want to come out of the car?
After we finished up at the Pennsylvania DeLorme Challenge, we had to begin our route toward Pittsburgh. I had no reason to be anywhere near Harrisburg except for that challenge final. So Ai-chen and I got to enjoy a lot of time driving through the country on the way over. That gave us the opportunity to sneak in stops at several bridges, because whenever I see a sign for a covered bridge in this part of the country, I take a detour and I gotta go check it out. You really only see these things in the northeast of the US. So unless you're lucky enough to be up in this neck of the woods, you won't be seeing them covered like this. More likely you'll be driving, or walking, across the old metal bridges like this on the country roads. Or crossing one of the more modern structures to get across the river. Bottom line, every bridge is a winner to me. When I realized how close we were to the Flight 93 Memorial, I immediately made a detour. We had to come see this. The Remember Me Rose Garden was donated by the families of the Flight 93 passengers. It is intended to honor their memory and ensure that we never forget their heroism, because we may never know how many lives they saved that day taking down that plane. But we know that they did. And we know that it must have taken courage beyond measure to willingly sacrifice their lives so that others may still live. From the Memorial Rose Garden, it's just around the corner to reach the Flight 93 National Memorial. And the Tower of Voices is the first thing you come across as you make your way toward the Visitor Center. This walkway pays tribute to the other 3 flights that were hijacked that day, an event we should never forget. This field, one day just like any other, is now treated as a field of honor, so that we will never forget the sacrifice the passengers of this flight made. Never. Our next stop ran right along those same lines. The Heroes Memorial was established to remember all those who lost their lives on September 11th. As well as all those who lost their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan. Last stop of the day was the Johnstown-Cambria County Airport. Here we learned a little bit about Lieutenant Colonel Boyd David, who earned the Distinguished Silver Cross. And just like that, our day came to an end as we reached our final destination in Kittening. What a journey through Pennsylvania.
Well, travelers, that brings a wrap to another day. What a day it was. We started the day very early this morning and did the run-in to go get the Pennsylvania DeLorme Challenge. It was a little over 6 miles in, a little over 6 miles out, with some stops along the way on the way out too. After that, Aicha and I got on the road from Harrisburg all the way in toward Pittsburgh. Right now we are shooting from Kittening. This is the very last county, the very last page that we need for Pennsylvania. All done. That means that tomorrow and the next day in the schedule, because I was a day ahead, we've got a little bit of slack. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and head into Pittsburgh, and we're going to explore around there. And the next day we're going to make our way up to Lake Erie. We're going to get the oldest in the state, and we're going to spend a little time in Lake Erie. And then that'll be it for Pennsylvania. Now we're going to use the last of our light to get on the way into Pittsburgh to finish off our night. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and we will see you out there on the trails.